Hello, hello, folks. How are we? You are all very, very welcome. Whilst I try and figure. I'm just waiting for my friends to hop in and to join us here. Hope you're doing well, folks. You're very welcome. I'm just trying to see who else is here. Cool. Very welcome. Thank you very much for hopping in. How are we all this evening? Hope you're doing well, folks. Hope you're doing well. Lovely. Hello, hello. I'm trying to see how do I do get the rest of the folks in. There is Belinda. There we go, Belinda. Turn on your camera so we can see you.
It is on.
I can't see you.
Why would it not be on? Oh, no, it's on now. Oh my god, I can put a filter on myself, can I?
Oh dear. I know we're just waiting for
Oh my
Freya.
god, look.
There's Freya invite.
This is awesome.
Why won't it let me invite Freya? Freya, I'm trying to invite you. Oh, there's Freya coming.
Right.
Now, I can't see you. Why can I not see you? Can you see me? Oh, there's Freya. Belinda, we still can't see you.
I know, I was looking at the
Oh, there you
filters
go.
on myself.
Oh, dear.
No coughing now, Freya.
I know.
I'm guessing Paul is probably
roll
doing...
beside me ready.
Paul is in the
probably
bathroom
doing-
getting ready.
He's probably doing his hair and makeup or something
Yeah,
like
probably.
that. You've requested. Oh, Paul. Oh, look at him. I've requested.
How dare you not accept?
Oh my God, there we go. Wait! Oh, look at Paul. Paul with the aesthetics and the Christmas tree.
Oh,
Can we
wow.
hear?
Can we hear? Yeah?
Yeah, okay, fab.
Yeah. Folks, this is amazing. This is the first time we've
It's my
This
first
is the
time live
first-
on TikTok.
Belinda's
Yeah,
first
same.
time live on TikTok. Ah.
Same, Paul?
Yes, same. Never went on live before. It's all brandy new.
Love it.
Amazing. Let's see. Can you see the messages that are coming in as well? Can you, as they're coming in?
Yes.
Can you make the guest boxes bigger for your guests?
No.
Do that.
How do I? That would be an amazing thing.
Oh,
Let's see.
God.
Oh
Everyone can just see Paddy's big head.
wow, that's rude. How do I make them bigger? How do I make them bigger?
Hi, Lou.
Oh, now we can see Paul bigger.
Oh, no,
Do not
put
do
that
that,
back.
Do not.
Oh,
Is that it?
is this it?
Everybody, can you see us all now?
Oh, so it
How
looks
did you
like
do
you
that?
can have a couple of people bigger, and then some
Yeah,
people smaller.
maybe not making the bigger one. Lock me down.
You look stunning, by the way, guys.
You do. There's
There's Paul again.
Paddy, put that off. Stop.
oh god, not like a bit of chaos. There we go. That'll do.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
we've
thanks for nothing.
Belinda and Paul. Cool.
I'm
So
in my
what do we see?
PJs.
Lou, hello Lou, how are you doing? Hello E1027, how are things? You're all very, very welcome. No, don't say sorry for suggestion. Like this is the first time we've done it, so we're really just
Yeah,
trying
so
to,
we need some feedback, guys.
we need suggestions on like how
Yeah.
to adult.
So, Paddy, couple questions for us.
Oh wow, okay,
newbies.
straight into it. Here we go. Yeah.
Wow.
No, just about like, can we see how many people are joining us? We can. Where would I see that now?
So what you normally see, I think, is that each person can see maybe how many of their followers or something might be joining. Do you know?
How many can you see, Paddy?
I could see. Well, I think. Oh no, that's top viewers. I don't know.
I can
I
see
don't
up at the top right, there's like 2 sofas and it says 16
I
beside
can
it.
see the same.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder is that it because when I tip in there, I see top viewers as opposed to the actual. Oh, viewers 38. Oh yeah. Is it? I think. I
Oh,
can see.
38?
Oh, okay, cool.
But anyhow, how are we, folks? This is the first time that like we've done this. I don't know if there
pen
has
pals.
been, yeah, if there has been like an Irish group of folks that have done this. I'm not aware of such.
I don't think so.
Nope.
No, I don't think so. Because
We're the
obviously, like
first.
some of the first like some pen pals, yay. Freya, first of all, thanks for coming on because I know you haven't been well this week.
Yeah, I recovering from the flu, so I think we should all take a shot every time. I say I have the flu, but not the shot you might be thinking of, like maybe vodka or water or something like that.
Maybe a shot of gin or something.
Yeah.
You sound so
not-
much better now. Your
You know
voice
what? I
doesn't sound
actually-
like you're a smoker anymore.
I know, I sound a little bit more human now. I will say I went for a walk around the estate for the first time since I haven't been out since Wednesday, and it was like a 5-minute loop, and I came home and I sounded like a smoker again. But we're all good. We're in bed. We have our walk.
Yeah, well, at least you had a quiet week. Like you didn't have much on this week. But so I'd love to know. Maybe if we start off with, obviously, all of us, the thing that has kind of brought us together is wellness journeys. We've all lost a fairly substantial amount of weight, kind of over the past, like actually various times. So maybe if we start there and just go around, if you want to do like maybe a quick intro, how long you're on your current journey, and if you feel comfortable maybe saying a percentage of weight you've lost or maybe amount of weight, whatever kind of feels natural for you. Oh my God, I feel like I'm in a work Zoom meeting or something.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm feeling that
you're
as
on
well.
mute. But Paul, will we start with you, sure, saying you're in the upper
Yeah,
quadrant?
sure. I started on my wellness journey in January of this year, and I have lost 4.5 stone since then.
Amazing. And do you know what kind of percentage of body weight that is?
26%.
Wow.
I think I'm like content with that amount. So like if I didn't have to step on the scales anymore, I wouldn't. I would have no interest in stepping on the scales. But obviously we have to do that for the consultation every month. But if I didn't have to, I'd be done.
And so does that mean, Paul, have you moved to a maintenance phase yet, or is there still weight that you're looking to drop?
I think because I switched my medication, I'm still trying to figure out what dose works for me. As soon as I find that, I think I'm on maintenance then. I'm done.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I had kind of thought like earlier in the year when I was seeing, I guess, the rate of weight loss I was having up to that point, oh sure, I'll be at maintenance in no time. And then the inevitable happens when things just start to slow down, like, you know, and I was like, oh okay, maybe not just yet. But during that time, Paul, so that's a pretty short space of time to have lost like 27% if you're
26,
26, yeah. Wow. And all of that time was like on a medicated weight loss journey as well. We all started, I think, bar Belinda, we all started on the same medication. I've changed recently, kind of following the price increases and stuff like that. But Belinda, do you want to give us, for anyone that might know you, first of all, why not? It's a bit rude. But secondly, what your kind of journey has been so far?
Have you got an hour, or are we in a hurry?
No, you've never roast dinner, so you do in 50 minutes.
I know,
so.
and a glass of red wine. So I'll just go through it quite quickly then. So I started over 3 years ago, 3 years and 2 months. I started in September 2022. It was very, very difficult to get hold of at that time, especially for weight loss. I came up against a lot of barriers and a lot of kind of full stops and things like that. But I think, been on 3 different medications now. I have stalled for over 6 months at 2 stages in that journey. And I have lost 33% of my body weight.
Wow.
In that time.
Wow.
Amazing.
And I never expected that. I really didn't. Even when I took it first, I never expected it to work. I'd gotten to the stage where I had accepted that was going to be my size. This was going to be my weight. I'd also gotten into the mindset of the acceptance around if I stayed at that weight, I probably wouldn't have a long lifespan. I wouldn't, And I'd gone so far as to like start ordering clothes that fit my body and get rid of everything that didn't fit me, just so I could just be at peace with myself. And then I found a medicated weight loss drug, and here we are 3.2 years later.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and just recently gone into my maintenance phase, purely because this journey has been so long for me, and I have been chasing the scales, and I have been like 110% invested in this with over 3 years, and I'm tired. I'm tired now, and I am like.
Yeah, I think though you're probably one of the early people in terms of this kind of journey in Ireland then to actually be in a place of maintenance, because for so many people.
What would you call me then, Paddy? What would you call me?
I know what you're saying, patient zero, is it? But like but it is though, because if you think about it, no more than when I started my medication last year, I was one of the first people in Ireland on that medication.
That medication, exactly.
But like for you, you're probably one of the early-ish people like to move to maintenance after that amount of weight, like.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about, the bumps in the road and stuff, because even though I had a prescription for this medication, I was going into a chemist and they were telling me, no, you're not having it, right? Absolutely not. And that was horrendous. And then we had the shortage, and I had to go outside the country to source it. And yes, but I would have swam oceans for it.
Yeah,
swam oceans.
And speaking of oceans and kind of crossing oceans, Freya, welcome back to Ireland as well. No more than myself. Yeah. You were abroad this week, and I think in a few days' time again. Yeah, but for anyone who doesn't know you, do you want to give us a little bit of an intro to yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Freya. For those of you who don't know me, I'm 28 and I've been on a weight loss journey as long as I can remember. It wasn't until I got engaged in December 2022 when I went, oh my God, I'm not getting married like this. Yeah. And I started off on a weight loss journey. I've been in and out of every single slimming group you can imagine. I was working with a coach in 2024, and it took me nearly a year to lose just under a stone. And it wasn't until I got diagnosed last year with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, that I went, oh, 27. And
that makes sense.
Oh, this is why I have struggled to lose weight. This is why my body isn't working for me and it's working against me. And that is when I discovered Paddy actually on TikTok, the only Irish creator I could find. And I learned all about the world of medicated weight loss journeys. And here I am now. I just got married. I had fit into a dress 2 sizes too small because I crazily ordered it that way. And I'm
well done. My God, well done. Yeah.
And you look stunning, like absolutely.
Oh my God, yeah.
Stunning, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's amazing, Freya. Well done. And then myself, I started in June of last year. I was, and I always say this every time I talk about it, I was somebody that was a very quick responder. That is not the norm. That is not what you should be expecting. That is, and I always call that out because I hate if sometimes on social media you can see a video and you're like, oh my God, I'm comparing myself to them, and that's not real life. So it's not like the experience I had is not the one that other people should be setting their standards on. But for whatever reason, my body just responded the way it did. And within the first kind of 6 months, I had lost 6 stone, and then this year a further kind of 2.5 stone by kind of late summer. So I'm about 8.5 stone kind of down now. I started at just over 24 stone. I'll say I'm just over 15.5. That was before I went to England and changed medication. So Lord knows, but those scales can stay away for another wee while.
Croissants, hey?
Yeah, a lot of croissants, from Too Good To Go. Love that app. Yeah. But I think the thing that I have noticed, like particularly since kind of maybe March, April time, is that slowdown that we touched on at the start. Is like there comes a point, and this is, I don't know your experiences of this, but there comes a point which is natural when you're on even the medication that things will slow down and people can start to freak out like, oh my God, it stopped working. And then you start asking them, well, are you still feeling fuller soon? You're like, yeah. And it's like, well, are you still kind of, getting like a bit of suppression? Like, yeah. It's like, but I'm just not losing weight. I'm like, but that doesn't necessarily mean the medication isn't working anymore.
Exactly. And you need to sit down and you really need to answer a lot of questions, ask yourself a lot of questions and answer them first before you jump to the conclusion that the medication is no longer working. Because like you said, if you are feeling suppression still, that means the medication is still working. If you are still eating smaller meals, that means the medication is still working. If you are able to go, or if you're sitting down to a meal and you still feel fuller quicker, then the medication is still working. And if those scales have stopped moving, then there are, especially for women, I think, there are about 200 reasons why the scales can stop moving. It's never usually because the medication has stopped working. If it did, you would know. You would feel it immediately. Yeah.
Paul, I'm going to come to you. Someone has popped a question saying, how do you find with the change of medication? A lot of people have swapped back. Now, I know you've done a video. I think that's kind of interesting. I did one after, but you did one first about like people's opinions and experiences when they change medication and some of the thoughts they have. So what's that been like for you versus what you've seen other people kind of talk about online?
I have switched. I think I'm like 3 months on the new medication now. And what I have seen online is a lot of people saying that it doesn't work for them. But I feel they're not giving it enough time. Like these medications, they don't work overnight. And you have to give yourself a decent amount of time to realize if it does work for you or if the side effects are too much. But like, just spend a bit of time on it.
Do you
Speak
mean
to your
like
provider.
giving yourself enough time to titrate up to the dose that's going to suit you? Because is it essentially like starting all over again?
I would say yes and no. Like when I switched, my provider said this is what you should start on. So it wasn't the equivalent, I suppose. But when I did start, I put on some weight for my first week, second week, third weigh So I weighed each week, and then after the third week, my weight started to drop again. And I just think it was the medication getting to a specific point in my body. And then after that, plain sailing. Now, I did have a couple of days of nausea at the start. I had some nausea last week. I don't know if it was attached to the fact I was on antibiotics a couple of weeks beforehand. But I did reach out to them and I said, look, what do I do here? And they said, you probably went up too high or you titrated too quickly. So let's drop back down. I did have a bit of fear. I was like, oh God, is this not for me? And I'm on it 2.5 months now. But no, I just went up the dose too quickly. So I'm going to drop back down. I feel fine this week.
How lucky are you to have that support?
Yeah, it's a godsend.
Yeah.
So I have no side effects anymore because I have dropped back down. So that was the reason.
Did you have any side effects on your previous medication? Or is it only since switching that you're like, oh my God, this is because of this medication?
No, definitely had. Do you know one thing I noticed a lot more on the first medication was I got dizzy. Like, I don't know if you ever get this, like when you stand up and you get that like dizziness. I don't have that on this. That would have been one of the side effects, I suppose. That could have just been a drop in blood pressure or blood sugars or something. But the only thing I've noticed on this one so far has been that little bit of nausea. But I just take a shot of Pepto.
Which is quite common, isn't it?
Yeah. Totally common.
Can I just ask you a quick question just about your history as well, Paul? So would you have been in and out of like the slimming rooms?
No. So I never done the likes of a slimming group or anything like that. So my dad's side of the family they suffer with obesity. My mom's side we don't know because she is adopted. So growing up there was always this fear of, oh, are you going to take after your dad's side of the family? And that was like ingrained, I feel like, in all of us, like all of my siblings. It was like a running joke kind of thing, but didn't obviously become a joke. It became something that is kind of ingrained in your head.
Yeah.
And I was always quite slim as a kid. And then when I got into my 20s and I came out of the closet, there's this like idea of what a gay man, I suppose, should look like. And
Wait,
I
what?
went straight.
You're gay?
Okay.
Oh my God, I just came out of the closet. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The second time.
I went straight into like doing high intensity training 6 days a week, became obsessed with fitness. Like all I would do would be eat chicken and rice, and it was just not something that was sustainable. So I went from that to then burning myself out and putting on loads of weight and not realizing like what is going on. And then one day I see Paddy's video online to say that this medication is an option now for Irish people. And here we are 10 months later.
And
it's
isn't that
changed my
mad?
life.
Because the four of us are sitting here, and you, Paddy, you're the reason that the three of us are where we are now.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about it until I spoke to Paddy either, you know?
Yeah.
I seen it all over my TikTok, but it was all UK.
And America.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had no clue it was available for Irish people.
And Freya, were you like? I know at that stage, like that was about maybe, was that kind of December, January kind of time? Was it? Would it have been?
No, I started last October. So
Okay. Oh wow, even earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
So, because what I was going to say is, I know when I was starting out, there was so much scaremongering on TikTok, like so much scaremongering on TikTok. And as somebody that was very much in the, and folks that have the questions in, I will pause and come to all those in a moment in the comments. But Freya, I'd love to know at that time, was that something you had witnessed much of, the kind of scaremongering, or was that something that was in your head? And how did you, if so, how did you, I guess, go beyond that?
I can't even tell you, every time I opened my TikTok, I had talked myself out of starting the journey, because I was like, oh my God, everybody is sick. Oh my God, people are going to hospital. Oh my God, like people are like, they're saying that the medication isn't safe. And obviously like it still exists, but the black market was probably huge back then when it wasn't maybe as accessible for people. But I can't tell you how many times I talked myself in and out of starting this journey. Like,
really?
just based on TikTok. And I genuinely felt like the only person I could trust on here was you. And that's not because you were the only Irish person on the Irish.
It did help though.
It was because I was like, okay, this seems like an actual real person who is doing a real journey in a safe way and talking about that, rather than someone just coming on going, oh my God, guys,
This is gonna kill you.
yeah. And I don't know about anybody else, but when I did finally start, and I was like, oh, this is great. When I was going up from 2.5 to 5, the whole entire TikTok was talking about 5 being the depth.
Yeah.
I'm not going up. I'm staying here. I'm staying on 2.5. That was yeah.
It's gas. I'm going to quickly go through just some of the comments here as well. So Anne said mine is slowed down so much. Yeah, and that can be totally normal. And I think, as Belinda said earlier, it's a good time, I guess, maybe just to reassess how's nutrition, how's movement. Something that I did earlier this year for myself was went and got metabolic testing done to see if my metabolism had adapted, which is very common for people that have lived a life of kind of dieting and calorie restriction. Your body can adapt to survive on lower calories. And the kind of history of that is actually goes back to famine times, that your body learns basically that you're going to have less energy coming in, and kind of how to deal with that. Which of course, particularly in Ireland, that's a whole other story. But
Paddy, who's saying that question? Anne. Okay, Anne. Also, and if you want to reach out to me on the other app, I have like a list of questions, like a reflection list that I can send you if you want to have a look at that, and it might just kind of shake things up a little bit for you.
Yeah. Carolyn said she's the same as Anne as well. A whole new Jay. Hello, Jay. Hello, Mark as well. I hope the ironing is going
Mark
okay.
said he's on it because of you as well.
Yeah. Marcus said, add me to the list. I started on the journey watching Paddy. Cheers, Mark. Jay, I think a lot of people switch back too quickly. They need to
Mm,
try the higher strength. Yeah, and I think it's more so just about. I did a video similar to Paul there last week, saying the same thing that like even with the, I put up a question box with what do people want to know about my first week, and everyone was asking, oh, what's depression like? What's this like? What's that like? I'm like, I can't compare it. It's week
Yeah,
one.
it's too early.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
remember I know when I was starting out for the very first time, I was told that like to determine the efficacy for me, like how effective it was going to be, that like that could take maybe 4 or 5 months before the doctor at that point would determine, okay, this is working for you or not, depending on the amount of weight I'd lost at that point. So like you can't be thinking in this kind of frame of just week in, week out,
Weeks,
because
yeah.
that's what I think a culture of dieting has done to us though, is kind of
Mm,
week in, kind of week out, you know.
yeah.
Just gonna see, is there any other thing here?
Cool.
Cool. Caroline says Freya inspired me to start.
Oh,
So
fab.
Ah,
yeah, that's lovely. So and a whole new J, how accessible is it in Ireland? So in Ireland, like both medications are available regularly in Ireland now.
In the pharmacies.
Obviously the thing that kind of combines the four of us, this is not a sponsored live or anything like that, but we are all with the same provider, which is kind of how we're all kind of friends as well. And we all have the link to that in our bio, I'd imagine. As
Yeah,
well.
we do.
If you
We
want to find
never,
that out.
what? No.
Yeah, I think so. But so
It's not in
Freya,
your bio, is it, Freya, by any chance?
We'll
um,
find it
Freya,
Oh wow, Mark! Look what Mark said.
yeah, Mark says 11 stone down
wow,
today
well
on the
done.
there.
scales.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, well done, Mark. And I know, Mark,
That's
you're
huge.
more than many of us here. You've been on like a multi-year journey, I guess, as well,
Yeah,
with kind of your weight and wellness. So
and
fair play, well
everything.
done.
Yeah. Well done on
Freya,
all of it.
Freya, you recently got married, okay? And you talked there about the wedding dress and that, but I'd love to know, like, clothes is one bit that's kind of really important to us, but how, when you were, I guess, getting ready to walk down the aisle, could you have thought this time last year that this was how your wedding day was going to be, or the confidence you had, or maybe the pride you had, or what was that like emotionally for you based on kind of how you felt about yourself and the progress you'd made?
Uh, I can't even begin to explain it because it's been a lifelong of trauma built up. And then I was standing there in my dress going, oh my God, I can't believe that's me. Like there was kind of a dissociation between it. Because I was like, that's actually me as a bride. Like it's happening. I did that. But like last year, I had ordered the dress more than a year ago. And so I had put in a year of work already towards the dress. And I was like, it's just not going to happen. I'm going to have to get a new dress. I've wasted that money. Like I was full on panicked and freaked. And really it was only when I found this journey was when it actually felt doable and achievable. But I don't even know how to explain to people when they ask me how did it feel, because it felt like an outer body experience
Wow,
that was
Yeah.
actually
that's
like,
amazing.
like
So,
I did it, I got there. But what I will say now is I don't think I'm any different to other people. I still on my wedding day picked myself apart in some aspects. Like when the photos came back, I was like, oh my God, look at the double chin and look at my arm. And do you know, like it's so hard when you've battled with your weight. And
I'm like that with my photos that where you can see the back of me, and I can see like this
yeah,
big roll of fat like on my the back of my head, and that's like I
Yeah.
got married in 2023, and at that point I think I was about maybe 19 stone, like maybe 18 stone. I had lost maybe 3 stone during the 4 or 5 months before the wedding by like just
wow.
being like killing myself, going to CrossFit, kind of really trying to watch what I was eating, probably too much as well in an unhealthy way
Yeah.
that
Not
wasn't
sustainable.
sustainable. Yeah, and then like what happens as always is you lose some weight initially, and then like for me, I went to the honeymoon and I was kind of like, okay, all the pressure's off me now, and
Yeah.
it's like it just kind of shoots back up again, which is thing. But I would love. I was saying this in the WhatsApp group, the community WhatsApp group, that like at some point in the future, I'd almost love to go back and reshoot the wedding photos again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
people do that, don't they?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I like. I don't know if so. Maybe another topic. I don't know if any of you, if this happens for you, but when I look at the old pictures of me, I feel so sad for that person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a
I
hundred
don't do
percent.
it. I don't do it. I do not look.
Like I
Can't. It's just
physically
too
get teary.
depressing.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it, like getting teary, but also just so sad for that person. And it's a really weird thing to think about because I don't feel like I'm the same person as I was 4 years ago. That was accepting how I was and accepting all of the things I spoke about earlier. I don't feel like I'm the same person now. I really don't, because I've changed in so many ways. Like this medication has done so much for me in my life and everyone around me. Like when you feel healthy and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it affects everybody around you, doesn't it?
yeah. So
Yeah.
what I say is, well, folks, if anyone is watching and has a question for any of us, or all of us, feel free to pop that in.
Yeah.
A question I'm going to put
Paddy?
out there is: have you ever felt, feck it, maybe it's just going to be easier to stay overweight
Oh yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're
Oh
exhausted
God,
from
yeah.
it? Yeah.
Like every Monday. You you may very well laugh, but it's true.
Yeah.
You have to remember, I'm like 50 in April, and I can never remember a time when I wasn't aware that I was in a bigger body. So I lived with that for what, I don't know, all those years. So it was not new to me to think, oh, fuck it. Excuse my
Yeah.
language.
And was there any time, like, I don't know, Freya or Paul, for you either similarly, or a time where you thought, oh, I'm just done, I'm not trying again? But then obviously you since did, like, or what was that kind of journey like for you to actually keep that momentum and motivation going?
If you
Mine was
did.
only last year, as I said, I briefly touched on at the introduction. It was before I got my diagnosis, I was working with that coach and I was in the gym 5-6 days a week. She had put me on a low carb diet, which happens a lot of the time with PCOS. And I naively didn't know that there was carbs in everything, like vegetables, fruit, like every food I was eating, there was carbs in it. And I was on very, very little carbs. And at this point, remember, I had the dress, but I was literally like, feck it. I was like, if this is how hard it is for me to actually be healthy and to lose weight, I don't want this because I'm miserable. I'm 5-6 days in the gym. I can't eat anything I want to eat. And why do I have to do this to lose weight, but other people don't? Do you know,
Yeah.
that's the kind of mindset
Yeah.
but
That was
yeah.
always my thing as well. How come I have to work 20 times harder to still stay this size, even to not put up weight, and everybody else is just living their best life?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what about you? Was there ever a time, or like, were you always determined to, no, I'm going to achieve A, B, or C? So, like, for context as well, I crossed paths with Paul in a former life when we used to live near each other. But I only recently met Paul in person, like during the summer, which was mad. But like when we both lived around the same town was like maybe 13 years ago.
Yeah, I know Paddy longer than I know my husband, which is
Yeah,
gas.
Easy.
yeah, which is
Stop,
mad.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
we
you
only
guys
used to
have
live
met
like
and
a couple of
everything?
minutes. No,
So
oh yeah, we met in the summer.
for the
Ah,
first time. Yeah.
oh,
But like we know each other, like I would say 13 or 14 years.
There's
like a
online, yeah.
lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to quickly look in on some of the comments here as well. Lorzy, lovely Lorzy, how are you doing? I adore carbs. Yeah, big fan of the carb
Same.
here as well, Lorna.
Imagine being told you can't eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, I've started with a psychotherapist to look at the reasons behind my weight gains. Any of you tried that? So
Love to do it.
yeah, I'll go first this one. So I did work with a therapist, and it was one of the best things I ever did back maybe 8 or 9 years, maybe 8 years ago, and particularly in relation to kind of triggers and episodes of overindulging in short periods of time and stuff like that. What I found is that helped me understand some of the habit-based drivers I had, but it didn't fix, or fix isn't even the right word. It didn't balance out, I guess, that the chemical side of things, of me still feeling hungry, if you get me. And I think that's one of the differences that I found over the last 18 months, is that, like, for me, therapy wasn't just the answer. It was part of the jigsaw of what I needed, to help me understand that. So yes, I got huge value from it. I'm a massive fan of anyone that has had any kind of challenging relationship with food and trying to understand it, leaning into that side of things. But for me, it definitely wasn't just the answer. And I know long term, it's not the ultimate fix. It's part of the understanding. But again, I say that kind of maybe sessions with a therapist isn't going to keep me full. If that makes sense, if you get what I'm trying to say, they're kind of
You're still
two slightly
suffering with the
different things.
disease of
Yeah,
obesity.
but
Yeah.
hugely valuable. Big fan of everyone do it. It was some of the best money I invested was those sessions.
Have you guys done that?
I've done therapy, but never really touched on the food part of it. If I ever feel I need to go back to therapy, it's absolutely something I would love to discuss. Even while I'm at a point in my life now where I feel I'm
Grand.
good, it's still something I think I should understand more. Because don't get me wrong, like these medications, they're not magic. They're a tool, and I still have moments where I'm like, oh, maybe I will open that box of celebrations and maybe I'll just have two, and that two could still turn into 4 or 6 or 8 or 10. So understanding why that might be a trigger would be great. So yeah, maybe next time I get some therapy sessions, that is definitely something I'd like to touch on.
Yeah. And Freya, have you?
I've had therapy for many years for different mental health matters, but never food related. No, like it's never.
Or weight
It
related?
wasn't priority, if that made sense, in my therapy. But I, like Paul, I would love to understand why food is my emotional support. Like why.
That's what it is, isn't it?
Why
It's
food
something that
was.
just makes you feel good and happy.
Yeah, but it's
And
silly,
then ultimately
isn't
it doesn't. Yeah.
One
Oh,
of the things
100%.
that came up for me was the reason why food was such a strong presence for me. At that time, I was not even that time, but I guess over the years, as a learned thing was, the key thing was it was particularly during highly stressful times in life or work or period of time where I didn't have control over what was happening. And what the therapy taught me was that my way of trying to regain control of a situation was to make myself feel better. And the way that I did that was I could control and almost retaliate via food. And that made me feel like I was in control of something. So although it was hugely self-destructive, and a lot of us, I know can be self-destructive towards journeys at different times, and that's where we get frustrated. For me, that was one of the real realizations that it was a form of self-destruction, but the form of self-destruction was making me feel like I was back in control, when in reality I wasn't. I was in control of what I was doing to an extent or why I was doing it, but the bigger world pictures, it wasn't changing any of that. So that's why it was just a vicious cycle.
Yeah. But do you know what's really, really kind of sad about all of that, Paddy, is that what you are just explaining and what you have just spoken about, if you had gone the other way, controlling your food and not eating it at all, people would have been knocking down your door to support you.
Yeah.
But because the disease of obesity is absolutely, it's a phrase now, isn't it, that it has come around, but it will take generations to actually instill it in people and in like people that support you, like your doctors or your therapists or whatever. It's just, it really irks me.
Obviously we've all chosen to, I guess, share our journeys kind of online. I remember when I was starting out, I still took a few weeks. So like my kind of first video, I think, is actually 2 weeks behind when I actually started, because although I'd very much lived in a social media world for like, a decade or whatever, or more longer, I was still afraid of the backlash I was going to get from people and like the eat less, move more and all this kind of stuff. Like, Paul, you share quite a bit. Freya, I know you do as well. Obviously, myself and Belinda know each other pretty much inside out. We're like a, angry, loving husband.
You're the
and wife
couple
at this
from Father's
stage.
Head.
Yeah. But I'd love to know, because I don't know, have you ever had a negative response from people, or any smart comments, or either online or in person on any of your content?
Oh, I don't think I've had any yet. I'm sure I will, but I do see it a lot
Not to your
on other
face
people's
anyway.
socials. Not to my face. I'm sure there's plenty of things said behind my back, but you
Not
know
Paddy.
that's on them.
Yeah.
Freya?
Freya?
Not a lot. I've had a few comments on posts saying, "Why wouldn't you just eat less and move more?" That's a big one. I think a lot of people would get anyway. And I just know they're uneducated, so I kind of just like.
Do you not respond to them then, or?
It depends on the day. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I say, "Come back and comment when you are educated on the topic." And
Well done,
Yeah.
well done, Paddy. You handle it so well, well.
That's usually my approach as well, is that I'll lean in with like an excessive amount of empathy as an opportunity for that person to upskill their knowledge and understanding. So I will.
So if it's said when I'm live now, I would say like, "Okay, everybody, we have an uneducated person here with us, so
Yeah.
you don't want it."
You
Like,
have
I'm
been
very
warned.
sarcastic about it, like on
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah,
So
same way.
Anne is
if-
just asking there if we avoid carbs, and I would
Absolutely
say,
not.
hell no. I avoid nothing.
There's
No,
no,
everything in moderation.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's no
Now.
food, like unless like there's a very specific medical reason, like you have an intolerance or something like that. If you're just looking at things purely from a weight loss perspective, there shouldn't be any food that you should be don't have this or avoid this or whatever, because I do think that yes, you want like the majority of your food to be nutritionally supportive. However, the thing that I think people forget to think about is that those other foods that might not traditionally be classed as like healthy nutritional foods, they're that's the times where it can help you mentally to adhere to the other 90% of the time. You know, those kind of little things where you can go out, enjoy a nice meal, maybe have that tub of Ben and Jerry's if that's what you want, like, or you know, I think it's more so when that becomes increasing or more and more, then that's maybe where you need to reflect on things and look a bit harder at things. But I think when it's just a now and again, because this is what I have to remind myself still. People who are not on this journey, they would be enjoying that. And that's what we're trying to achieve, is like that kind of day-to-day life of balance. Exactly, yeah. And moving away from shame or guilt or shoulds and shouldn'ts and all that kind of stuff. But that's a lot of kind of mental work and fatigue, I think, as well.
Can I ask you a question, Paddy?
Yeah.
Just about something you said earlier about the amount of weight that you've lost in the amount of time that you've lost it. Just about, you know, different people respond differently to different medications, and the medication that we're on now, or that you started on, you responded to it quite well, didn't you? For the first, well, up until a couple of months ago, I suppose, really.
For the first kind of 8 months, really.
Yeah, and you would have been a what the term is used as a super responder. And
Hyper responder, yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to say that's the thing is, comparison to anybody else on this journey. Like at the start, we all gave our weight loss and our percentage that we have lost and stuff, and that is not the same for anybody. There's no two people that are the same that respond the same.
Absolutely. And I think when you look at some of the clinical trial data, what you'll see is that over time, those people that are slower responders. So like, for example, you'll have somebody that say could have been losing weight slower than me, right? Okay. For the first kind of say 18 months or whatever, or year, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I could have been there losing weight. But then as I slow down, that other person could be maintaining their momentum. So actually over, if you were to take like a 2 to 3 year look at that, you could find the weight loss is extremely comparable, just at different paces. But people, again, I think because we've lived
It's hard
a
to come out of that mindset. Yeah.
Because I think, Freya, you would have traditionally said that you were somebody that was a bit on the slower side of weight loss, but yet you're sitting at, is it 23-ish% weight loss?
Yeah, close to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
Yeah, like and that I like that's phenomenal. That's not slow. Like
I don't know that. Do you realize that though, Freya?
No, like when we were talking about percentages, I was like, I'm just going to ask ChatGPT because my flu head cannot calculate right now. And I was like, oh, actually, I thought mine would be a lot lower than your guys because I've lost a lower amount. But obviously, it's
No, but it's relevant to your journey.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So, question for you. So, I'm conscious some people have things at 7 o'clock as well that they have to do, or commitments, or dinners, or knocks at doors
Sleep.
coming.
Have a
Sleep.
glass of wine ready.
Yeah.
Paul, I'll start with you.
Tasted Freya.
Yeah.
What is something that you wish you knew when you were starting out?
Ooh.
Oh God. Do you know there's one thing, not that I regret, but I would have been like you, Paddy, as well, where I would have been classed as like a hyper responder. I wish I stayed on the starting dose longer.
Longer. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's nobody else's fault, I think, but my own. I was fixated on, okay, I'm ready to go up now. I'm ready. Even though I was still getting the therapeutic response, which a lot of people don't on the starting dose. I was getting suppression. I was having no side effects. The food noise was turned off. It was doing exactly what you want to do. And I said, no, I'm going to go up.
Let me go up. Yeah.
And what did that do? It brought me side effects. It was so pointless. So I probably should have just really listened to my provider and said, you know what, let's stick at this. Because I've seen people who have stayed on the starting dose for their entire journey and they've done phenomenal.
Yeah.
So don't go up, don't rush the doses. Do not rush the doses. You do not need to go up every 4 weeks. Have the conversation with your provider or your doctor. If you feel that it's working for you at the current dose, stay on it.
Yeah, that's gas ball.
100%.
There's one of the people that I work with in a coaching capacity, and they have lost over £100, and the majority of that was on the lower level starting dose. They never went up to higher doses at all. So they don't.
Wow.
But again, when you go back and look at the data that is out there, like particularly when you look at like step 3, step 4, the majority of people will have lost the majority of the weight they're going to lose by that point. So and this is the thing again where people are like almost rushing or chasing to get to, I need to get to like that number there, the high one,
Chase the suppression.
because that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to lose considerably more just by chasing that, you know. Freya, for you, is there anything that you wish you would have known or stuff like that at the start?
I think that's a tough question. You gave me ample time to think there, but I was
You didn't use it though.
I was invested in Paul's answer. I guess that the big thing, and I say it to everybody now when I'm on live or replying to people, is comparison is the thief of joy. And like when I first came online, I was seeing people lose what I lost in say 8 weeks in like 2 weeks, and I was like,
Oh my
what's
God.
wrong with me? Why? I think that's why I did maximize out. Not, I wouldn't say maximize. I did extend the life of each step as much as I felt I could, but then I panicked. Scales didn't move, and I was like, I have to go up because I didn't lose this week. So in a way, both. But I think a part of that came from me comparing to people online, and now I've learned that no two journeys are the same, and everyone's biological makeup is so different. So really not comparing to people online and their journeys and how they're responding, and just keep going and keep moving forward.
Yeah, cool. And Belinda? I mean, when you started out, I guess it was a very different landscape.
Well, there was no landscape.
Yeah.
There was just me in a desert on my fucking own.
You were the lakes, the forest, the mountains, and the hills.
I was the landscape. And I hadn't a clue what I was doing. Oh my God. Like, seriously, had no idea. Like, I didn't even know what to do with the pen when I got it. I couldn't find anything or anybody to compare anything or anything. But I think looking back now, my biggest regret is not measuring my body. When I look at you, Paddy, and all of the proper before and after photographs you have, I have none of those. You know, I have, I suppose a year into it, I kind of have from then, but I'm sorry I didn't measure my body. And even going into maintenance now, I said to Sean the other day, I must measure my body, because if I'm in maintenance, maybe I'll do it in 6 months' time. And if my weight is the same, my measurements will be different. I know they will, because I'm in the gym 5 days a week, and
Yeah.
you know, the body composition and that. But I still haven't even done that yet. You know,
Yeah.
but that's it. That's a huge thing, I think, and as well, like you, Freya, trying to get the maximum out of each dose and not compare yourself to other people. And that's a whole therapy session in itself.
Yeah.
You know, so it's hard. It's hard not to do.
That idea of the with the body measurements and pictures and stuff like that. Like, yes, I have pictures like from kind of day one and stuff like that. But the thing that still kind of, I guess, wows me more is when I do the body measurements. And I'm so glad I did take those kind of day one and have kept them along the way. So like in those, like say earlier this year, when I could have 2 months when the scales haven't moved, and then I go and do my measurements, like, oh, actually, do you know what? My boobies aren't as big as they used to be. Or like, you know, oh, I've gone down.
I'll try
like,
the same complaint.
yeah. Or you know, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely. I think for me, like something that I wish I'd known when I was starting out is not to get caught up in all of the drama and the scaremongering online, because I was sitting here shitting it like with all of the scaremongering from the UK and from the like, oh my god, this happened, that's happening. And we still see some of that with like some of the reports recently about Robbie Williams and other people and stuff like that. And it's important to know that yes, this is medication. Absolutely, there can be side effects, but that's why it's so important to keep your provider informed as early as you think there might be something happening, that you let them know and you work with them to determine, is it a side effect or is it age? Like I've talked about this before, where like a few months after I started, my eyes were feeling kind of just different. And I went to the opticians and I was like, this is it now. Oh my God. This was one of the times like, oh my God, my eye is infected. I'm going to have to stop. And the optician was like, Paddy, you're in your 40s. Your eyes are getting tired. Like, they're like, imagine if you were going around walking all day, your feet would get tired. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, your eyes are looking all day. And they're strange. You wear glasses. I was like, all right, so will you still check me veins or me retina or whatever those things, and the blood vessels, and they did that. And they're like, there's nothing wrong with them. I was like, okay.
So like collectively, like would the three of you then like taken heed of those scaremongering videos and stuff like that? Would you have listened to them and thought, oh my God, maybe I better not start? Or
yeah, I spoke to my doctor before I started. I think it was late last year, and I had brought the idea to her of starting these types of medications. And initially she was like, no, they're too dangerous. They can cause gallstones and this and that. And
I had that as well.
I was just like, what? And then you're seeing that in the news, and then, okay, well, if my doctor is telling me this and I'm seeing it on social media and I'm seeing it on the news, it must be true. And it must be a dangerous option to take. And then it was only after I got past, I suppose, all the bullshit, and really looked into this, that I realized, no, they are safe. It's a safe medication and millions of people are taking them. I then cut to 6-7 months into my journey, and I see my doctor for the first time since, and she's blown away. She is like, oh my God, what have you done? And I'm like, I started on these medications, and I do it through a medicated or through a provider. And now she's a huge advocate for it. Yeah. We talk about it every time I'm in. She's like, oh, this is amazing. Your blood pressure is perfect. Your mental health, perfect. All your markers are just
perfect.
Like A1.
Perfect.
And you're perfect.
Thank you so much. But even just my mental health in comparison, never mind the physical things. I before this, I'm sure you've all felt the same. You feel like a shell of yourself, where you don't want to be in photos, you don't want to go out, you don't want to socialize, you just want to stay at home and lock yourself in a dark room and eat food, because that's the only thing that's going to make you feel better in that moment.
In that moment.
Yeah, definitely in that moment. And now I feel like you're
bursting out of yourself trying to do things.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, apart from the physical stuff, the benefits of this medication just for your mental health and your head are just incredible.
And I don't think we, even the four of us together, could ever articulate the the impact that it's had on our mental health.
Yeah.
No.
And
Absolutely.
I think the same as you, Paul. I don't know, you, Paddy and Freya, I think that it is the biggest change in my mental health. That has been the biggest change for me. What about you guys?
Do you want to go ahead, Paddy?
No, you go.
Yeah, like my mental health is a difficult path, as in I'd still have days where I'd struggle, but that's a different topic. But the difference in my mindset and my mental health towards myself and my body completely transformed.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think like what
I'm so
I
happy
found,
for you, Freya. I'm delighted for you. Yeah.
what I kind of found was like I think there'll always be days where you're feeling a bit lower or whatever. Just again, even people not on this journey will have days, like that. But I think for me, one of the biggest changes has been because that food noise is gone, I've got more mental capacity to deal with the other stuff that comes up with life, like the other stressors or the other shit or something I speak about a lot is that I've kind of, I guess, found that value that I place on myself and that kind of confidence to be able to say no to things or no to people or no to situations, which I never would have done
That's
before.
another big thing.
We could spend a whole hour talking on that
The
alone.
power of no.
Just like
And setting boundaries.
Yeah.
you would have all heard me say, I'm
Which
sure.
I've never done in my life.
Know your worth, and I don't mean financially. Yes, apart, but like more.
He
so,
does. He absolutely means
Yeah, I do,
financially.
yeah.
Absolutely means that.
No, but I mean,
Gravestone.
like, you know what I mean, like in terms of who you're letting around you, what you're letting around you, the situations you allow yourself in, who deserves
Your
What
time.
what
Yeah.
you
Who deserves-
used to, what you would have said yes to.
who deserves you. Who deserves you is probably the best way.
Yeah.
I'm conscious of time. We're in like our last kind of 10 minutes, I'll say. I just want to go through some of the comments here as well. Anne said, down £62 in 9 months, 29% gone.
Well done.
Amazing.
Well done, Anne.
Congratulations.
Also, Lorzy Lovey, has anyone found a cure for sulfur burps? And I know someone said peppermint and you tried that and it didn't work. So some of the other things with that, Lorna, that I found is ginger is another one that can help. And also looking at if there's any pattern when it happens, because one of the things I've seen is that sometimes it can
Diet.
it can be to do with particular foods that sometimes can almost
Fermenting
be
in your
fermenting.
stomach.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So it could be worth looking at if there is a link back to a particular type, and it could be the most randomest of food and the randomest of thing that you eat, like red onion in a random sandwich you get every now and again or something like that. So it could be interesting to look at that. That's the kind of other thing. The peppermint is the one, and charcoal is one I've heard.
Apparently
some people
so,
mention.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't tried any of those, could be another one to look at.
Oh, Pepto-Bismol, of course.
Yeah, Paul's Pepto.
Love.
Paul. Yeah,
Paddy's a big fan.
Big fan.
yeah. But if you were to think back to the start of your journey and where you are now, like, could you ever have imagined that you are, even if you're not in the place of maintenance, could you ever have imagined that you are where you are today?
No, absolutely not. I tried Saxenda a couple of years ago, and I not good times for me. I know there's plenty of people out there who still are using that as their weight loss tool, and it works for them. For me, but wasn't good times. This is a whole different ball game, and to think where I am now, 10 months on, I probably didn't think that was possible at all.
Such a short space of time as well,
Yeah.
Paul. I don't think you realise how short
No.
space of time that is. Like, it's amazing.
So I wonder what the next 10 months will bring. It's exciting times.
Yeah. Freya, what about you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely no world that I think I'd be sitting 4.5 stone down.
Yeah. It's mad.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Paddy?
not a hope. Not a hope. I was saying this to somebody, I don't know, somebody met in England. And I was just like, I never, ever, ever could have imagined that I ever would have been ever anywhere near this weight in my life, ever. Like, because since I've been obese since I've been a child, and then there was a very short period of time where I momentarily, and I will call it that, very momentarily got to a low weight, but then instantly started kind of regaining it all. So to have been on this trajectory is probably the best way, and maintaining this trajectory, like, and maintaining even just stability, is just unbelievable. Like, I still have to pinch myself, and there's sometimes where by like I look in the mirror and I'll still be grabbing the tummy, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's still a spare tire. But then equally, I need to balance that, because there is days where I'm past the mirror, I'm like, oh, that's me. Oh, hello, me. You know. Lovely, guys. Thanks, Dan. And Belinda, I've got a specific one for you on this kind of theme as well. Okay, and this is something we spoke about before, me and you. But could 46, 47-year-old Belinda ever have thought that nearly 50-year-old Belinda will be in doing weights in the gym, and will be getting up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock to go into the gym and doing workouts willingly after
Middle of the night, this woman is going.
like Belinda, that's even from when I know you, like, you weren't in that space even when
because you inspired me to go into the gym. But like, if you know, he did, but like, if you think about where I came from and where I started from, if I'm being blatantly honest, and I know this is really morbid, but fuck me, I didn't even think I'd be here now. Honestly, I really didn't. Like 3-4 years ago, nah. Because I had, as I said at the start, I had gotten to the point where I was accepting of my weight, and if I had stayed in that phase of acceptance, my weight would never have gone down. It would have went up and up and up and up, and I would have become immobile. I would have become clinically depressed, and I would be closer to death than I would have ever wanted to be.
And I think that's, you know, probably a great reminder that this is why so many of us are on this journey, is longevity and health, and trying to adjust for the best quality of life, you know. Hannah, I'm just joining now. My current weight loss with Ozempic. Well done. Thanks, Hannah, and very, very best of luck to you. Hello, thank you so much as well. And Sinead said to Lorna, Mazrol control from the pharmacy for the sulfur burps as well.
That's good.
So I've never had sulfur burps. Have ye?
Oh,
yeah.
So bad.
Oh my
God,
bad.
Horrible.
Have you all had them?
Only once on this journey, but I've had them before.
Paul, have you had them quite a bit?
I had them when I went up to the third dose.
Right.
The third dose, and I had to speak to the medical team, and I was like, lads, how do we stop this? I can't be dealing with this. The people around me can't be dealing with this.
Like, I was allergic to myself.
So bad. It's actually vile. And I was told peppermint tea and drop back down. And don't get me wrong, I actually love peppermint tea now because of this.
Yeah,
and I haven't had them since.
But it didn't work.
Oh, did it not? Oh, yeah, no, it absolutely did.
No.
But at the same time, I had to reduce back a step. In the
right,
dose.
okay.
And that fixed everything. So I just went, again, I went up the dose too fast. Paul was premature, like, just slow it down.
Well, can I just ask you a quick question before we head off? Did you, because we know that you've switched your medication recently, did you peak? Did you go to the highest?
Yeah.
And then switched over? Okay. Yeah, right.
Freya, you said you had them once, actually. Is that all?
Yeah, once during this journey, and they are the devil. Like,
yes,
genuinely. I have emetophobia, which is the fear of vomiting, and when I've had them as a child, as a teenager, I had them twice, I think, as a teenager, and both times I was sick. So the night I had them here a few months ago, I was in the bed, like, rocking back.
Riddled with anxiety.
Like, oh my god, I'm gonna be sick. I was like, I can't do this. But I actually was okay, touch wood.
Yeah.
But they are, they're awful, like, absolutely awful.
Yeah. Some final comments just before we finish. Hannah, I'm 6 stone down since March of this year.
Wow. What?
Well done.
Wow. Hannah also says, though, the sulfur burps are the worst. And Sinead said, sulfur burps that tasted like chickadees.
Well, you're lucky.
I love chickadees.
It's like rotten egg.
Yeah, it's exactly what it's like. Yeah.
Same problem.
That's That's too funny. I hate chickadees. Absolutely, they're like shocking. So they're. Some of the burps of the MJ is working. Oh yes, sometimes the burps remind me that the MJ is working. That's like me when I wake up and like.
Oh my goddess, that is so true.
Yeah, that's like me when I wake up and my mouth is like welded shut and like.
Oh yeah.
And you know what, as well, guys? That's a side effect that nobody talks about. Dry
mouth.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah. But it's
Why is that? Why?
I think it literally is dehydration.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
It's not just us sleeping like all
Well,
night. Like,
maybe.
I don't know. We haven't seen that stream, Paul, yet, so I can't confirm. Folks, look, I know some folks have time commitments and stuff like that, so we will wrap this live up there.
This was so good.
But
Yes,
I
fab.
think it would be brilliant to do more of these, try different times of days as well, and different days and stuff. Belinda might even, get a cup of coffee on her to stay awake, maybe a bit later. Like,
After 7?
Yeah.
No. Give over. I'm your elder. I cannot do this.
But for the folks that have joined, thank you so much. Give the folks a follow.
Oh, you're welcome, Hannah.
It's been a pleasure. Feel free to comment on any
Thanks,
of the
Mark.
videos. ask
Mark's finished the
questions.
ironing.
Mark's finished. That's brilliant. And as I say, to know any we're all with the one provider as well. This isn't a sponsored kind of session with them or anything whatsoever like that. But if you're curious, we all have it in our bio as to which provider we're with and that. But thank you so much, Freya. Continue to feel better soon.
Yes.
And
You're going on your say what are you going on?
Oh, the honeymoon.
You better get better.
Yes.
No, Wednesday. I should be all good by Wednesday.
That's amazing. Paul, thank you so much. And Paul's first live as well. Well done.
Yeah, my very
mine.
first live.
Belinda.
Yeah, and Belinda, your first live.
Freya, you're so good at it.
Yeah,
So
the
I
live
don't know
queen.
about that.
Ah, come on.
Freya loves the live.
And Paddy, thanks for making all of
Thanks
us
for
do
hosting
this.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Freya, you're beaming there. It's almost like you've got, I don't know, some kind of like ring of light
Ring
in
light
front
or
of you.
something.
Yeah.
No, it's just my halo from.
You're natural.
Well, you must have been polishing it, so you must beforehand. So
I'm glad you all enjoyed it.
yeah,
Thanks,
folks,
guys.
look, thank you so much. Take care. Big love. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye.